All right, thank you for staying with us. The program and the conversation, as we said it, especially this first leg is about mental health for today. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. 10th of October every year has been set aside as a World Mental Health Day. So it's an annual event. And this year, that theme is so germane and it's been set out mental health at work, more like prioritizing mental health at work. And that's the discussion for today. The World Health Organization, according to them, they are uniting with partners to highlight the vital connection between mental health and work. And safe, healthy working environment can act as a protective factor for mental health. Unhealthy conditions, including stigma, discrimination, and exposure to risk like harassment and other poor working conditions, can pose significant risk affecting mental health and overall quality of life, and consequently participation or productivity at work. With 60% of the global population in work, urgent action is needed to ensure work prevents a risk to mental health and protect and support mental health at work. These are the introductory message of the World Health Organization at this time. But in the house today, we have a very top professional who is going to be highlighting this discussion for us. He is Dr. Charles Yodeji ABEDIDE, a consultant psychiatrist with the University of Ocean Teaching Hospital, Ocean State University rather, Teaching Hospital here, Shibwell. Doctor, good morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good to
Thank you.
have you here
Thank you.
with us.
You're welcome.
Today is another commemoration of World Mental Health Day, 10th of October 2024. And the theme for this year, according to WHO, is mental health at workplace. How instructive is this year's theme and how important is the discussion about mental health?
Well, thank you, the moderator.
Yeah.
And I want to thank this establishment and the Nigerian Medical Association and for this opportunity given to me to be here this morning. As I said, the theme for this year is time to prioritize mental health in the workplace. Well, we know that it's a very good topic and important at this time of the year, every 10th of October. Well, workplace and mental health is important, as we all know, that the stability of everybody's mental health will determine what we do. So the quality of what we achieve as a services or productivity will depend on how stable our mental health is. As we all know that even the whole body functions as is instructed by the brain. So also is the quality of what we do. So even at a government level, at a private level, at family level, the quality of what we achieve in life depends on how stable our mental health is.
Yeah, and the topic, not just about today, the discussion around mental health.
Yes.
How you are the professional here, a consultant psychiatrist. Thank you for the good work that you do, and all your colleagues as well. Now, the conversation around mental health, it appears is not that popular around here. And at the sound of the word mental health, averagely people will think we are talking about madness all of a sudden. So that's why I'm asking how popular it is and how important is it for us as a people, as Nigerians, especially at this time, to have conversation around our mental health.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Well, as you rightly said, mental health is an aspect of medicine that is not that popular, especially outside there, because since what people actually know about doctors are maybe you go to doctors when you have complaint like this place is paining me and this place I'm not comfortable, I can't walk well, I can't see well. But when people now begin to talk about your feelings, your actions, your thoughts, people don't they don't know much about it. and the knowledge about mental health is low among the populace. So that's why most times people think it's something spiritual, something that is knowledge that is inaccessible to people. It's because of the low understanding of this topic among our people. So it's very important we discuss it so that people can at least be aware of what mental health is all about. It's a thing that you cannot see. Nobody can see thoughts. Nobody can feel. Nobody can see feelings. So it is what we do, what we say, how we behave that actually will determine the nature of mental or the stability of mental health or the state of mental health at any point in time. So it's very important, and it's not that popular because people don't have knowledge. Knowledge about it is low in our community, and they think even people that have mental health challenges that are in the streets, pick papers, people think it's spiritual. Most of them, people run away from them instead of maybe getting close and trying to find a way to assist them. Yeah.
All right, since this year's theme is around mental health at the workplace, I'd like to ask you, Doctor, when exactly should an individual consider it an issue? Or let me put it this way, when do one know that my mental health is at risk? Because we have a lot of people throw the words around and say, oh, my mental health is at risk. Oh, my mental health. But as a professional, when exactly can one say, I do not think my mental health is 100% intact?
Okay, thank you so much. It's very, very easy to know. And importantly, mental health is an issue that in most times, people that have these challenges, they don't, most times, consider it an issue. In fact, most times, everybody thinks it's okay. Even people that are suffering from this illness, they believe nothing's wrong with them. They're okay. Even when they are having gross abnormality, gross misconduct, misbehavior, they still believe they are okay. So it is people around them, family members, relations, workmates, schoolmates, roommates, that will discover that something is wrong about this individual. Well, an individual may begin to suspect that there's a challenge in his mental state. One, when there's sleep difficulty, that person begins to have difficulty in falling asleep or maintaining good sleep, failure to have quality of sleep. For example, when we wake up in the morning, all of us, and you feel refreshed, you know that you have slept well. But when you have slept for several hours, and you wake up and you feel that, oh, I've not slept. You're so weak, you're so, and people complain about what you do. Complain, maybe you are not happy, you are not around, you are lost in thoughts. Some people may be, if the illness gets far, nobody detects, they begin to hear voices of unseen people in clear consciousness, begin to be afraid in an unusual environment they have been living for years. That place, they begin to have sense of insecurity, become hypervigilant. They don't feel they are secured. They cannot eat freely, they hide. They have social withdrawal. They prefer to be alone than to be among people that they have been operating well before. And the family members begin to note when there's a sudden change in the behavior or actions of an individual. So they begin to notice something is wrong with this individual. But the individual may know, actually, but he may not know how to explain because the knowledge is not there. It's not good. It's not well among the masses. So it is somebody else who discovers that, okay, this the way you are talking, we don't seem to understand what you are saying. You are the only one that understand what you are saying. So you're going to begin to think what is maybe wrong with these people. That's why, because of the low knowledge in the public, that's why the first point of path to care is to go to churches, to go to Muslims, to go to mountains, to seek for spiritual cure or care for them because they think it's a spiritual matter.
So some of these issues are just medical, nothing has to do with spiritual issues.
No, no. Well, I may not say it's not. It may not be due to spiritual issues because all we know is that there can be mental illness.
So when one discovers the signs or symptoms, so before it deteriorates into something, deeper, should the person? I want you to talk about coping mechanisms now. Is it every time you detect that you go to your mental health specialist, or are there things you can do on your own to get yourself back?
Okay, thank you so much. There are things that we can do to at least to manage a little bit before one goes to the physician or specialist for treatment. But it depends. For example, now if there's a prodrome stage, what I mean by prodrome is those are the subtle signs the person begins to see before the real mental illness begins to manifest. For example, now most of them, 90% of our clients, they have the first thing is to have sleep disruption. If sleep disrupts, one may begin to have, okay, what do I do? If you don't know, you can ask some counselors. They tell you that's what we call sleep hygiene. That person begin to do some little thing that makes him sleep. For example, taking warm milk very close to night. You don't take every meal at night. You don't drink alcohol in the night. You don't smoke. You don't. You want to sleep. You go to a very quiet environment, no bright lights, and all those things. When you do all those things and they fail, they don't seem working, then that person should approach a specialist, hospital for treatment.
Okay. Yeah. Before Femi comes in, when it comes to mental health in the workplace, it seems like employers are, a bit disconnected. All they are just interested in is come do your job that I've paid you to do,
output,
and move. But let us know, or tell the employers now, how output and productivity
depend on the mental health.
Exactly.
On the employees.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, the employers should know that the stability of mental health will determine what we do and how well it is done. It's important someone is happy at what he or she does. And if somebody is not happy, there's no way that person can have 100% output in whatever the person does. And you see, in a situation whereby mental health is not stable of an employee, the person may be making mistakes. That's why inside some products, I don't want to mention, you can see some strange things. Maybe due to mistakes because of instability of mental health of people that are working in such companies at that instant. So we're happy. Our productivity will depend on how stable our mental health is. For example, now, if an employee is stable mentally, that person will be productive, will be creative, will be the ability to do well will be there. There will be sense of belonging to that company. For example, even as a doctor too, if you don't have good mental health, that person, there will be, once there are mistakes, there will be complaints of a product that is coming out of that company or establishment. So it's paramount. Without mental health, there can be good productivity.
But what roles can these employers play to ensure that their employees, to support their employees' mental health?
Yes, there are so many things they need to do. They need to improve the working environment. They need to make sure that the workload is manageable. You understand? And they need also to make sure that they provide learning and ability of each of these employees to grow professionally. And yes, their welfare is important. How much are you giving them? For example, now when economy changes suddenly, the remuneration tools to change to be commensurate. You understand? You don't overwork them. You don't overwork them. Give them manageable workload. And when anytime they are supposed to do more, you give them more, you remunerate them. And the employers should be positive minded. You don't dwell on the mistakes of workers or employees all the time. Encourage, appreciate the good things they do each time. So all these things we sensitize the employee, we make them work better.
You talked about the happiness of an employee is very instrumental to the productivity of the organization. Now, one we say is in the place, because we are talking to practicality this morning, is in the place of an employer, to make an employee happy, because some will say, what you have is a contract. You do this for me, I provide this for you. Every 30 days you do this. This is how much I'm going to be giving you, and there is an agreement. And so whenever you do that work, you're collecting your pay. We are talking about remuneration now. The employer might say, it's not my place to make you happy. Happiness might be intentional. Either you are happy or not, there is a part that I have to do, and I'm doing that. Now, if an employee will see from that point of view that you have worked for me, I owe you, and I'm paying you. How can you say your happiness is dependent upon me?
Okay, thank you. You are right, but most times it will not go that way. Or at times, let me say, at times it will not go that way, because an employee can ruin a company in a way, because if the employee is not happy, the productivity, the creativity will not come out in full. Most time, these employees, they can serve as a link between the consumers and the employers. They know what they are putting there. For example, where maybe you need to produce biscuits now, and there's a measure of each of the quantities of materials you need to put there to make a good biscuit. By the time the person is not happy, he's putting more of one substance than the other. The biscuit will no longer taste biscuits. Yes, when it gets to the consumers. So when the consumers change their mind that, oh, I'm not going for that product again, it's not moving, because people that are buying in the local environment, they will no longer come in, or they change their taste. So all these things, the employer will eventually be the receiver of this outputs. So, but if the employee is happy, he will do things normally. The employer will have a rest of mind. There are so many employers who do not even stay in the country where their companies are. They travel out, and wherever they are, they have rest of mind. But some, they cannot leave because they don't make their employees happy. So, and they work more. Even at night, they won't be able to sleep because debt may be coming.
All right. Talking about World Mental Health Day 2024, for those joining us, that's our conversation right now. And it's about the workplace. Now, according to the WHO, let me read part of what it said. It says, safe, healthy working environment can act as a protective factor for mental health. And unhealthy conditions, including stigma, because we're talking about workplace right now, stigma, discrimination, and exposure to risk like harassment and other poor working conditions can pose significant risk, affecting mental health, overall quality of life, and consequently participation or productivity at work. Now, how important are these things that the WHO have highlighted? Stigma, discrimination, exposure to harassment, and other poor working conditions. So many persons will say this is the reality of many working persons in Nigeria. But because, what will you have them do? Will you say because of their mental health has been affected, because of these factors, they should leave the job and go to where? But this is what they face daily. So can you help us speak to that? There are people that this is the reality, and many of them have complained, but because of pay, they can't leave. And this is the reality. Let's speak to that this morning.
Thank you so much.
How can they cope?
The moderator. People will, this is a very important topic we are raising in Nigeria system today, because we all know how weak our security system is. And you and I will not want to work in an environment where there's a risk to our lives. So we have too many cases of kidnapping, cases of carrying people, killings up and there, up and down, and you see, and the discrimination too. Cases of inequality. Yeah. In
Stigma,
stigmatization. Yeah. So it depends on what what is done. You know, stigmatization and discrimination also in a workplace may not give someone a sense of well-being. Productivity will be low. There won't be creativity. There won't be happiness. There will be fear. There will be undue fearfulness. There will be anxiety. You know, when all these things come up on a person, that person may not work well, and such environment may not be a safe place for good productivity, according to WHO. It's important that the employers know that they need employees need good security system where they are working, so that their minds can be at rest. They can produce the best. They can have the best. You understand? Even for students and all over the world, where there's no adequate security, there won't be rest of mind.
Now, you know, we have been taking it from the point of employer to employee. Let's speak to employees among themselves. Maybe a superior to a junior person, and we're talking about stigma, harassment. You know, there are some persons that the moment they wake up in the morning, they want to go to work, but they are not happy going there because they know what they are going to meet. But because of the economic situation of the country, they can't just resign and say, I'm doing this more.
They will continue because
because they don't have any other choice.
They need to earn a living.
How can they cope? And what would be your advice to them? We ask them to resign and find their way elsewhere. But then the thing is to go and do what exactly?
Well, I don't advise the employees to resign. And I don't advise them to leave their job, because a bet at hand worth more than two in the bush. Economy is not smiling now. So, but my advice to employees now is that wherever we are, wherever the employees are, they should try and maintain good relationship in the working system. They should find a way of, if the employer is the problem, they should find a way of having a meeting, having dialogue with their employers. So with the employers, if it's between employee and employees, there should be a system in the company that we have to, like for example now, dispute or conflict resolution team or system to be in any organization where whatever is not making one employee happy to be at work, what is causing him to be afraid to go to work, to be sorted out. There should be a table, an opportunity for them to resolve issues. So all these things can happen among employees, because even where 2 or 3 people are, there are bound to be conflict, there are bound to be disagreement, but all these things can be resolved.
I mean, you're speaking to the human resource angle, and a lot of companies do not have that. The human resource department that actually see to conflict resolution and also see to the welfare of their employees. Yeah. Now let's speak to women at workplace, especially women that are married, women that are mothers. You know, they have to deal with the home and still come to work and still deliver at work. How do you think these women can cope? Or, you know, a woman that just gave birth and probably she had 2 to 3 months maternity leave, but you and I know that 2 to 3 months maternity leave is not enough. How do you think the workplace can help women, especially those still battling PPD, postpartum depression? How do you think the employers can help women at work, you know, have an excellent work-life balance?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to use the opportunity to say that I so much salute the courage of our women they are wonderful human beings. You know, even biologically, women are stronger than men. They are stronger. So, but in a way, that this is the area where husbands and family members will come in, actually, to assist. And then now, I think it's now operating that maternity leave should be 4 months. But 4 months is not even enough. Now, in a situation whereby a woman that has just given birth, after maternity leave has resumed, she needs to resume work, and you know, such a woman needs support, even in the workplace. Opportunities to be given such women to be given less stressful part of job to do at workplace. For example, now a nursing mother who is a nurse in the hospital, who's a staff nurse in the hospital. So immediately after, maybe the woman is resuming work, to be given less assignment, to be supported at that point in time. And I want to appreciate most of our hospitals. They do this for women, and the environment is now becoming more gender friendly, at least towards women now. Yeah, and the husbands too, to wake up to their responsibilities and support these women, because actually they are carrying their babies. So yeah, family members too, to wake up and assist them. Women are wonderful, they are great. So they should be given more opportunity, more support, so that the tension of the workload will not be more on them, affect them psychologically, even when they get home.
Okay, I'll ask you this. I'm still with the female gender. Okay. I'm a female, so I have to talk about what actually concerns us the most. There have been calls by some women, by the female folks, that we should have what is called menstrual leave. Doctor, you understand what I'm talking. You are not a woman, but you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. The first day of menstruation is always somehow very hard for some women. So there have been calls for workplaces, or this should become a law, that the very first day of menstruation for every woman, she should be on leave. How do you react to that? Do you think it's doable in a country like Nigeria? And if it is, to what extent do you think this law should be applicable?
Well, my own personal opinion now. Menstrual period is it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, and it's natural. Nobody chooses it.
Yes.
If you leave it to all women, we won't choose it.
We won't choose it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because even most women hide it.
Sure.
Yeah. They don't want to tell people close to them, if not their husbands, that, oh, I'm menstruating, I have menstrual pain, unless people that are very close to them.
Yeah.
So, well, I think it should be rather than being a law in Nigeria, like, you know, if it's a law, everybody will know when a woman is menstruating. For example, the first day, oh, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. Why? You are menstruating? Okay.
Is it a bad thing?
Well, it's not a bad thing, really.
Yeah.
But the reactions of men, each man differs towards it. So instead of that, I think there should be an understanding between a woman that is menstruating the first day, having menstrual pain, or to discuss with maybe the employer or the colleague or another colleague at work. Oh, sorry, I'm indisposed today. Allow me. I need rest. So I think that's what most women do now. They cover it. They protect themselves. They don't want people to know. They may even say it maybe after the episode. So last week, oh, I had
so essentially, you're saying women should find a support system in their place of work.
Yeah, their
that
place
can
of work.
help.
Yeah, that can help
instead
them.
of making it legislation.
Like there's it's allowed to have maybe work-free day for yourself because of your health.
Yeah.
Everybody has access to his or her health.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to be at home if you don't feel like coming to work.
It's about your health.
It's about your health.
Instead of narrowing it down as a menstrual thing.
As a menstrual thing, yeah.
Which can be like a discrimination.
People will begin to look down on you, say, look at it, look at that, look at you. For a month, you at least you'll be absent for 4 days.
Yeah.
And they now say, why should employer pay you the same thing with me?
Which will start another conversation.
Another conversation.
Now, we have to go. Now, but two quick questions here.
Yeah.
According to the WHO, still picking from their rollout, they said it's essential for government, employers, organizations, which represent workers and employers, maybe they are talking about unions now, and other stakeholders responsible for workers' health and safety to work together to improve mental health at work. So they are talking to, instead of asking, the only time you see unions talking is about remuneration and promotion, you should take the mental health of your members important and advocate on anything that might be injurious to it. But they went for that to say, action to address mental health at work should be done with the meaningful involvement of workers and their representatives and persons with lived experience of mental health conditions, which leads me to the question. Somebody exhibiting some mental health issues at the place of work, most of the times, because it's not helpful, it poses a danger to himself and colleagues, most of the times, employers will lay them off because they don't want to associate with this person. Should that be the best thing to do, you know, between an employer and employee? You know, we are not even talking about places of work that are official. Maybe, you know, an unofficial place, artisans, people working together, organization, tailors, you know, many of these persons, or even official places like these are our own. The moment somebody is exhibiting those things, they are fired. Should that be the standard procedure?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Or finding a way to help them?
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That is not the best way. That is pure discrimination. It's like acting against someone who has HIV/AIDS. That is discrimination. It's not allowed.
But that person is not useful for the system at that point.
We are not. Why do we wear that conclusion?
Okay.
Or why that generalization that is not useful? Mental health is everybody's issue. Anybody can have mental health challenges.
So what should an employer do?
Yeah,
or organization or a union?
A union to come around and help such an individual. Yes, have access to mental health facilities, take the person there. And the person goes there. After a few weeks, the person gets well and come back to work. That's all.
If the person is certified, fine and okay, they should be reabsorbed.
Yeah, to be reabsorbed.
We have a society that people begin to look to them, in a kind of way.
No, that is wrong. Even in family, the person should be reabsorbed back into the family without any discrimination. Without any. In fact, when we are about to discharge patients or our clients back to their homes, we tell them the family members do not discriminate against them. For example, now if they do some, anybody can be wrong at any point in time. If they do anything wrong, they say, okay, your problem has come again. No. Such statement is not allowed.
Not helpful.
It's not allowed.
Finally, Doctor, because of time, the Guardian, in fact, almost all the papers today are talking about this mental health issue. And there is something, if actually we can have the Guardian newspaper on our screen again. And frustration, hardship sink more Nigerians into depression. We're talking about general factors now. They say life expectancy is at 56.
Okay.
The nation is multidimensionally poor, at least 63% of the nation.
Yeah.
Inflation is at 32%.
Okay.
There are people with natural disasters, like at least in Borno. Now, 1.8 million persons have been affected.
Okay.
Unemployment rate, 5.3%.
Okay.
More Nigerians are now borrowing to feed, not to work, not to do business, to feed. And just yesterday, corn price has been increased to 1,030 naira per litre at NNPC filling station. So, you know, private businesses operating filling stations will operate more, and health facilities see 200% rise in mental cases. And many persons are saying government and their policies, they are the biggest threat to our mental health. Do you agree as a Nigerian with all these factors?
Okay. Well, I don't have a choice than to agree. Anyway, because most of these policies come down to the general masses, to the masses. You know, when one wakes up in the morning and begin to read all those information, that person feels bad. No matter how much you have in your bank account, because you know that the quantity or the quality of what you can achieve with what you have, the amount you have, is reducing every day.
So how do we cope?
So, well,
and I'll take that as your parting shot.
Yeah.
What can we do?
These
are the things thrown at us.
Yeah,
this is where we are found ourselves.
We are in it. We wake up, we sleep by it, we wake up by them.
So
what we need to do is to just be hopeful that a better day is coming. Because without doubt, there's no choice.
Doctor, can I tell you the truth?
Yes.
Because we are the mirror of the society.
Yeah.
Many Nigerians are not seeing that hope. Even if the government is talking about renewed hope, the hope is diminishing.
So if you don't have that, then
because this is our reality.
Then problem will be multiplying.
Still hopeful?
Yes. We need to be hopeful. We just need to. That's why that's one of the functions of our religion. In the Bible, you see it. In the Quran, you see it that my tomorrow will be all right.
As a psychiatrist, so what do you tell us?
As a psychiatrist, we need to just take it cool because and manage the little that we have.
Interesting one there. We want to thank you. Dr. Charles Abedide, Ayodele Abedide, a consultant psychiatrist with Union Teaching Hospital. Thank you for your time. And we hope periodically we'll be seeing you here to have discussions with us, because this is one topic that we should keep having, so that the mention of the word mental health, people will not be thinking it's only naked people on the streets that we are referring to. Thank you, and to the enemy as well, for having you here with us. And this is where we take the pause at the first hang of this program, where we'll come back to speak to another topical issue and what somebody is doing, to send a message in that particular regard. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, right here at Beam Live on Channel 1 as well, StarTimes DTT. Stay with us. The program will continue.